The reason why you're not catching fish during the winter is because there's none there, right? Well, I put a Go Fish cam off the pier into the ocean and soaked it for 3 hours, made different casts to see if there was nothing down there during this time of year to catch. Well, first cast, you can see in the background, there is a school of whiting. A pretty large school of whiting. They seem uninterested. I'm using a Salty McCrory surf fishing rig, one of the best ones out there. Got a bottom drop with a bead and a top drop with a float. Those whiting will come back, and when they do, notice how they react. They may be scared of my camera, but they are not making an attempt to eat. They're not going to strike. They're seeing the bait, and they are just passing right over that. Second cast, different spot, and I am using a combination of ghost shrimp and fish gum. I believe the top dropper that is floating in the frame there has got ghost shrimp and red fish gum, and there's just ghost shrimp on the bottom dropper. You can see the Sputnik, pretty cool in the background there, how it buries itself down in the sand. This is really the first time I've ever looked at a Sputnik on a camera underwater. Two legs are digging deep, the other two are exposed. Very interesting there. To the frame left side, you can see a ghost shrimp hole or volcano teetering back and forth. We do have ghost shrimp at Navarre Beach. The holes are not as frequent. And the ghost shrimp that are here do not have any claws. There are clear ones and black ghost shrimp at Navarre Beach. Very interesting to see a color of matching the hatch being black because a food source for fish are indeed ghost shrimp. There is no activity. This particular cast probably sat out there for about 45 minutes, and I saw absolutely nothing in that time. Now we're on cast number 3. Interesting how the water hue is changing to a aqua color as the day progresses. There is something in the background. I don't know what that is. It looks like a polished stick. If you were in a kiddie pool, you would need to exit the kiddie pool immediately. If you saw a log floating, then you would need to tell the lifeguard to shock the pool. But that is definitely not a human log. That is some kind of stick. The water is extremely clean. And another reason why you're probably not catching fish, we talked about the requirement is less to eat. Most likely your leader is way too big for this time of year. Anywhere between 8 and 12 pound fluorocarbon will give you more success during the winter time, especially when the water is this clear. Other parts of Alabama and Florida, the water is dirtier, so you don't necessarily need that light tackle, but you definitely need it on a day like today. Here is the next cast. We are seeing a different color change. Again, now we're back to like an emeraldy clear color, which is really neat. Again, not any activity where we casted. We're seeing the same theme on this cast. It's pretty dead. It is neat to watch how pompano rigs are designed in this frame. You can see how there is this movement action that will catch the eye of the fish, whether it's on the bottom where whiting typically eat in the food chain, or where it is suspended above the ground where pompano typically do eat. There will be no fish in this frame, so I'm not going to get a hit. I'm not going to get a bite. Another cast. Check out the color change. Once again, it really is amazing how much watercolor changes throughout the day when you're fishing. We're back out there. That brown deposits or black deposits that you see there, that is a crustacean excrement. More than likely that is sand flea excrement, or it could be ghost shrimp. And by the way, there's not much fish to catch, and there's also not any sand fleas. We are not seeing any colonies. I know they do, I guess, hibernate like the snow crabs do that scurry on the beach. We have not been able to rake one thing whatsoever. That's a cool little red. Oh, did you see the fish in the background? That is a monster whiting. I slowed it down. You can see the size of the tail there. I know it may not be as clear. That is a big fish. and to have a chance at catching a big fish like that. It can be done. We're going to come back on and I'm going to talk to you, and I'm going to give you 3 strategies so you can have less skunks at the beach while fishing. Okay, here's the deal. I want you to find success catching fish throughout the year. I don't care how cold it gets. I don't care how hot it gets. But in order to do that, especially during the wintertime, I'm going to give you 3 suggestions. The very first suggestion that I can give you is choose your location wisely. You're not going to have the same success tracking down rips and holes and finding fish. They're just not staging like they do during the early spring, mid-spring, and fall. They're in different pockets all over the place, schooling somewhere out deeper. They're just not where you think they normally are during this time of year. So I suggest you find some real structure. Fish off a pier. It's still surf fishing when you fish the surf zone from a pier. There's a video right here that I just did, and I caught some of the biggest whiting that I've ever caught in my life surf fishing from a pier. The good thing about surf fishing from a pier is that hopefully you can see in the water if there are fish there before you go pay for the day's pass or before you bring your stuff out there and set up for the day. So location number 1 is important. I am sold on light tackle, not the runt rods that I use, but just light leader. I'm talking size 6 circle hooks, 8 to 14 pound leader. That is going to get these finicky, not as hungry fish, because of the requirement is less, because metabolisms are slowed down, to be fooled into eating. That may be the ticket. Number 3, last one, smaller baits, tiny baits, small ghost shrimp, small pieces of shrimp, small pieces of fish gum. I'm telling you, they're not as hungry. It will help you have more opportunities to catch fish. And I'm learning all this year. It's not like I'm an expert. I've just saw firsthand that those 3 strategies have worked for me, and I do hope they work for you. Join me next time right here. We Excite to Strike. God bless.